Oh, I was thinking about it. I wanted to talk about the power of not doing anything. It sounds fucking crazy, but like when it comes to strength training or bodybuilding, like everybody wants to become anabolic, right? So it's a catchphrase, it's an idea, it's a concept that you're growing when you're anabolic, but you cannot do anabolic. Do you understand? You don't do anything that's really anabolic. You allow anabolism to happen. And how does that happen? It happens through the secretion of anabolic hormones. But again, when I say you, I mean your consciousness, your ego mind. Do you do anabolic stuff? Now you can do catabolic stuff, right? Because when you train, you're literally engaging in a bout of stimulating catabolism. You're breaking yourself down. But you've got to allow the growth to happen. You allow anabolism. And if you take it out of the context of just strength training, right? And you consider just how powerful your physiology is and how powerful the world we live in is in such a way that we allow growth to happen physically. You take it out of that context and you put it in terms of your life or anything else that you want to have happen, you'll find that 50% of the game, and oftentimes the most fruit-yielding part of any game, I don't care what it is that you're talking about in life, happens by you not doing it. It happens through allowing. In the same way that your muscle grows when you allow it to grow, anabolism happens when you allow it to grow. Granted, it's after you put in the stimulus to allow that. It's the same way with any goal you want to achieve in life. It's you do catabolism, but you allow anabolism. You do activity, or you take action, but you allow the results to happen. Very different than consistently trying to get anabolic or trying to get success or trying to get results, because that means you never allow, which is 50% of the whole deal, never allow the results to happen to you. What happens if you overtrain? Like you just keep fucking training and you never allow yourself to grow, right? I think that's the reason why I'm thinking about it, because we were talking about football season before, and I always got my best results, or I always felt my best 4 weeks after football season ended. It's the same concept, but you got to realize that strength and the weight room is a metaphor. I use it as a metaphor to describe principles that are very tangible here, but also can be carried through in other areas of your life. And that's really the magic of these ideas. The ideas that I try to present here is that you can take it out of the context of the weight room and the principles are still the same. You work hard towards your thing, but you allow it to come to you. The key is you got to be sensitive enough to know how much work to put in. That really requires paying attention and sensitivity, because we're all very different. It would be nice to know if there was a particular time frame or amount of energy to exert in order to get your result in any area of your life. It'd be nice if there was a scientific explanation or an exact blueprint to follow. But what it requires is, another one of these character virtues, is sensitivity, being able to pay attention and feel when my work is done and I should back off, or I haven't done enough and I need to keep going. You'll never know that based on someone else's answer. You'll never know when to back off and allow the snowball effect to happen, instead of burning yourself out and then ending up depressed, sick, and fucked up in your head. And you'll never know, did you really give it your all? No one can ever tell you. You'll only know if you're sensitive, did I give everything I have? As opposed to, I should back off now because it's been 90 days. When really, maybe you need 90 more days or 9 more years. We're all different in that way. And the magic in life is finding that, becoming sensitive enough to feel the seasons, the micro seasons and the macro seasons of your life. What do I mean by that? I mean that you got to be sensitive to when things are changing. It's very obvious when the seasons change outside. The leaves change and it gets hotter, whatever the case may be. But there's also an energetic season, and there are micro seasons, meaning like within the years of your life. And then there are macro seasons, which are like human evolution. We were born, but then we die. And what happens throughout that entire journey? And there are seasons within that. So there are cyclicals, and then there's that big cycle of life. And then, see, I'm ranting right now. Chris is looking at me. And then, look, there's a human cycle. They call them epochs. They're human cycles. They're cycles like, it's not just our individual cycles by the year or the month, or our human cycles individually as we're born and we die, but then like generational cycles, right? Where there's like civilizations rise and fall, it's like there's this big fucking circle, this big cycle. That's the way we operate. That's the way life operates. Anabolic-Catabolic, night and day. Get in tune with that cycle. If you get in tune with that cycle, you really just fall into, again, it's a yielding. You fall into the river of life, and it all works out the way it's supposed to work out. You exert and you allow. You do and you let. That's what I'm saying is that's really powerful shit. And if you can grasp that, you really have one of the keys to life. Like one of the secrets to life is this cyclical nature of life. And I guess my entire journey of my life has simply been, and all the shit that I share through these videos and stuff, has simply been my experience of revealing to myself these fucking cycles. Because I see them in myself, and then I see them in other people, and then I study history and religion, and I see like, whoa, this fucking thing. And I think as I gain wisdom, as I grow biologically, but also experientially, I see it more and more, and I'm starting to look for it, and it's amazing to see it everywhere, this cyclical nature of life. What's required though, and this is very difficult, what's required in order to appreciate and to fall into that cyclical nature of life is the acceptance of the complete quote-unquote opposite of what you find pleasurable. You see, so that's like saying, like, look, if you want to fall into the river or the cycle of life comfortably or resourcefully, you've got to accept that, look, there's wintertime. I know you don't like cold. I know it fucking chaps your lips and your fingers, and you get the flu every year. But it's like, but dude, you're gonna have to accept the fact that it's fucking winter sometimes. And it's the same way with, however you want to label anything, good or bad. Good or bad is the essence of our moral judgment on things, as opposed to, well, it's clearly winter, it's clearly summer. Is this good or bad, evil and good? Look, if you want good, understand that it comes with a healthy dose of evil. You get it? You want light, it comes with a healthy dose of darkness. We stop the process, we get in the way of it when we only want light. I only want light, I only want summer. I only want white, I don't want black. You see, now you're totally impeding the process. And that's when you cause frustration in yourself. When things are good, keep your eyes open for when things are going to be bad again. And on the flip side, when things are bad, be open to when they're going to get good. And both good and bad, again, I'm using them based on moral judgments. And so it's completely subjective. But hang in there. When shit sucks, hang in there, because it's going to get better. And when things are good, this is important. This is me preaching, of course. But when things are good, be generous. I think that's how you line up with receiving or resourcefully using good. When things are good, give. In other words, like line up with the goodness in creating goodness for other people. Be generous. And when things are bad, be hopeful, or hopeful is the wrong word, but be aware that it's going to come full circle again. It's going to be good again. Be thankful. Be gracious. How about that? Have gratitude in times of bad, because that gratitude essentially is lining up with what's coming next, which is your good. Be generous in times of prosperity and glad, thankful in times of adversity. Abdul Baha.